Hi there, welcome to you. Can you hear me, viewers? Thank you for responding with yes. Good to see you. A warm welcome to all the viewers who have joined the live chat. Two important news stories for you. Firstly, attack by Fano fighters close to Addis Ababa. Where did this attack happen? Uh, who led the attack? What was the target? And secondly, Fano commanders today made some official claims about Abanadio operation, which ended on the 10th of October. So we'll have a detailed look at these two topics, but let me welcome the participants first. Tamasgan Denka is the first viewer who commented. Welcome, Tamasgan. Med Abduali here. Aliye. Aliye is a regular viewer, but a relatively new viewer. Anonymous here. D Preach join says a big view from Bahirdar. What do you mean? Iri Love join. Simon Tesfaye here. Uniska join. Uniska, I think, is based in a European country. He told us a few days ago. But he's from Ethiopia, I think. Roro from the last holdout says that he watched almost all of my videos, but today is the first time for him to comment. Special welcome to you, Roro. Elijah Kano joined. Welcome, Elijah. Lilo here. Goober joined. Goober says, long time listener and first time commenter here. Well, good to hear from silent participants. Do write comments sometimes. Don't use your real name, but write comments. That is how I know you. Daniel Dassalin here. Berhin. Deep Reed says, Sajid, is today's news a really big news or just for the sake of life? Well, it's up to you to decide. I will share the contents of the news with you, then you can decide if it's big or not. We have Dhanbal Tube, Daniel Dassalin, Med Abdual is asking a question about Somaliland Ethiopia meetings. Swan President Hamza, Swan President Abdurrahman Ero visited Ethiopia a few days ago. Well, what I have learned is that the two sides could not reach any agreement. Revival of MOU did not happen. It's not under consideration. A new type of agreement is being considered. We cannot call Ero's visit a success. I think they'll meet again. I think that either some Ethiopian delegation will visit Somalia in coming days, or Somalia will visit Ethiopia in coming days. You'll see a second meeting. And maybe then we'll see what they decide. But first meeting led to no breakthrough, no revival of MOU, only talk of a new agreement, reportedly. Smile says, is it true that Lalibela is under Fano? I don't know. Smile, so many rumors are spread by Fano sources and some YouTubers who just make money by spreading propaganda, by making wrong claims. But I wait. I always take my time, and when I get confirmation, then I make a video. If Lalibela has come under Fano's control, hopefully I'll get a confirmation, and then I'll do a video on that. Talib Tikle here, Mare join, welcome Mare. Abdurrahman Jitna, Girme Areya, Elim Gizao joined. Elim is the first member who joined tonight's live chat. Welcome, Elim. Birhane here. DSG, second member who joined. Special welcome, DSG. Mande M joined from Philadelphia. Welcome, Mande M. Birhane, Agostino Hadish, Investor Insights here. Yini Musica, third viewer who joined. Third member, rather. Special welcome, Yini. Good to see you. Gubina Amani here. Fasil Yigzao join. Yodite Fikade here. Deep Reed says he's been watching me from Bahidar for around 4 years. Good to hear from you, Deep Reed. So many people. By the way, most of my views and news viewers are regular viewers because 70% of viewership is from regular subscribers. They have been watching me for around 4 to 5 years. So they're regular viewers. They're silent viewers. They don't write comments, but they watch videos. Because I get analytics, I get details of how many people are watching for how long. We have Ethio here, Yakub want to see me in Ethiopia. Maybe one day I'll visit Ethiopia. TE here, Bikole Shate, Shumit Kifaleo. Yeah, DSG says, did you see news about Haji Umar Idris? Yeah. Condolences to the family of Mufti Haji Umar Idris, one of the most well-known Muslim religious figures in Ethiopia. Well respected. I think Patriarch Abune Matthias also attended the funeral ceremony of Haji Umar Idris. Am I right? Also, the church issued a statement, Fano issued a statement, AFNF. So Haji Umar Idris was well respected in Ethiopia, especially in Amhara. He was head of Ethiopia Islamic Supreme Council, but he was removed. And Oromia-based Ibrahim Tofa took over the Muslim religious institution in Ethiopia. Haile Ababe here, Shumet Kifaleo. How near is near, Shumet says. I'll explain. Asho, Mintasho, Nur Yaya. Well, Asras, Alim, I spoke about it in tonight's, in a video an hour ago. Shumit, please don't repeat the same comment. Alegosho, Mehari, Somali man, Johannes Ayaneo. Oh, it's not frozen. It's not frozen. Solomon Wolde here. Two new stories. First one from near Addis, and second one is about a claim by a Fano about the 18-day long operation conducted in Amhara. Which topic should we start with? Sammy has joined. Welcome, Sammy. Rita says you're trying to take Fano to Arat Kilo. I am not trying. I am just reporting what they are doing. Content Hot Air Balloons joined, says, I appreciate your integrity and impartiality. Thank you. Shumit says we should start with the topic about Addis. Okay. Let's start, viewers. Today, reportedly, Fano carried out an attack around 30 kilometers away from Addis Ababa. Where did this attack happen? From which zone did Fano fighters come? What was the target? Well, details are coming in, but what we have learned so far that today, on Monday, Fano fighters carried out an attack in Gimbicho. Gimbicho is a town situated in the Oromia region. It is in East Shoa zone of the Oromia region. East Shoa zone of Oromia shares border with North Shoa zone of the Amhara region. And Gimbicho is around 10 kilometers away from Oromia Amhara border and around 30 kilometers away from Addis Ababa. So it means that Shoa Fano carried out this attack. Shoa Fano, we know has two groups. Amhara Fano People's Organization, Skandar Naga Group, and Amhara Fano National Force, Dasalin Group. Which group carried out this attack? As I said, details are still coming in. We'll have to wait. But can Fano fighters reach Gimbicho? And should it be called an attack in the vicinity of Addis Ababa? Yes, Gimbicho can be reached from North Shore, from Minjar, from Ararti. From Ararti, if you move towards Minjar, and then you reach a border town which is called Ijare, which is right on Oromia Amhara border. From there, I think one can reach Gimbicho. So it's not that the Fano fighters cannot reach Gimbicho. Yes, if they have Shoa, if they have Ararti, if they have Minjar, Ajare under their control, I think they can carry out an attack in Gimbicho. It's not impossible. But should we call it an attack on Addis Ababa? No. Basically, it's an attack near Addis Ababa, not on Addis Ababa. It shows two things. First, it shows that Fano groups have managed to reach Oromia Amhara border. By the way, in 2023 as well, if you remember, Fano groups took control of Oromia, Amhara, Oromia border areas. And then they started carrying out some attacks in the Oromia region. Then they tried to establish their presence in Addis Ababa. It happened in 2023, I think. But after military operations, Fano fighters were pushed back from the border with Oromia. This is their first attack in Oromia this year, if I'm not wrong. I did not see any attack by Fano in Oromia, especially in East Shoa, in the last few months. Maybe earlier this year, they entered Oromia. They carried out some attacks in Horogodoro, Vailaga. But in recent months, this is Fano's first attack in East Shoa recently. Was it carried out by Fanos of Shoa or some local Fano groups in East Shoa? Because we know that in Oromia, Amharas are arming themselves, organizing themselves, and they have formed local level Fanos in Valagadu. I am not aware of any Fano, local Fano groups presence in East Shore. It's very likely that the attack in Gimbicho was carried out by Fanos of North Shore. People are no Gimbicho no General Truth. So people are mentioning the name of Janal Taframam. They're saying that he is the one who led or who planned this attack. Taframamo is part of AFNF. He's not part of AFPO. If Tafra was involved in planning, in execution of this attack, it means it was the work of AFNF, not AFPO. But we'll have to wait. What was the target? Did Fano try to control Gimbicho? They did not. We can at best call it a hit and run attack. Fano fighters stormed Gimbicho. Local forces were their target. They carried out a swift operation there against security forces and they withdrew. So they are back in North Shore zone through Jare, Rarti, they return to North Shore. Should Addis Ababa panic? Is it a warning sign for Addis that Fanos have managed to reach the outskirts of Addis Ababa? I don't think so. But Fanos have definitely upped the ante. They're showing what they're capable of. They're showing they are capable of entering the Oromia region. And now Oromia regional forces will be involved. If Fano forces, Fano fighters enter East Shore Oromia, what do you expect from Oromia regional forces? Won't they enter Amhara region? They don't need to wear ENDF uniforms. Asras Maredam, they claim today that Oromia special forces are deployed to Amhara region and they are fighting there in Amhara. If Fano is carrying out attacks in East Shore, Oromia, obviously Oromia regional forces will carry out attacks in the Amhara region. This is what maybe federal government wanted. This is what ENDF wants. ENDF wants Fanos and Oromia regional forces to fight so that ENDF could be relocated to other fronts. So we can at best call it a probing attack, a hit and run attack by Fano in Oromia. We'll see its impact in coming days. Will Fano continue attacks in Oromia? The Oromia regional forces retaliate? All that will be clear now in coming days. Goracha says Oromia is the buffer zone. Yeah, I agree, Goracha. Oromia is the buffer zone for Addis Ababa. And the buffer zone is heavily manned by regional forces, militias, military. Can Fano breach this buffer zone? Can they bypass the buffer zone to start some sort of conflict in Addis Ababa from within? Let's see. I think Asras Mare Damte's interview was very meaningful today. He said that Fano averted uh, Abi's plan to wage war on Eritrea, on Tigray. And I said in the video about Asras Mare Damte's interview that Fano's attack in Wollo was part one of the plan made by four parties to counter Abi's plan to wage war on Eritrea or Tigray. If there is part one, there will definitely be a part two as well. And part two involves change in Addis. It could be march towards Addis. It could be change from within in Addis. It could be a swift offensive from the north towards strategic installations in Ethiopia. All that could happen, but part one will definitely have a part two. But let's wait. I mean, these parties have their plans, counter plans, plan A, plan B, plan C. So far, Fano side, Fano, Ola, TPL, LRT, I think they've been impressive this year. In 2023, they made some big claims, if you remember. Back then, they were claiming that they will reach Addis soon. Their commanders used to give press briefings. But I always questioned their claims, if you remember, in 2023. I said no, they won't be able to control Addis. This time, I think they're more mature. Why? Because now several groups have uh, formed an alliance. This time, they're not showing their strategy, their plans. We only have larger picture, which I think we can understand, and that is that the four groups they have decided to bring about change in Addis, to remove Abiy. How will they bring about this change? That is not clear. Their operation in Wollo had an element of surprise. I think they have more surprises in store. This attack in Gimbicho is also a surprise attack. Second, viewers, today Amhara Fano National Force shared details of its 18-day long operation which inflicted heavy losses on the Ethiopian National Defense Force. Aliye is asking a very relevant question about OLF. Not OLF, OLA. What will OLA do? Now, when Fano is pushing into Oromia, trying to push into Oromia, what will Ola do? Well, if Ola supports the four-party alliance, you could see coordination between Ola and Fano for attacks on security forces in Oromia. That could happen. Like we saw coordination between Tigray fighters and Fano in Wollo. So it will be clear in coming days. According to my information, according to what I have learned, Ola is on board with Fano, with TPL, with Eritrea. Some people have been trying to make Ola controversial, questioning Ola's allegiance to the alliance with TPLF, Fano, Eritrea. But what I have learned so far is that Ola is fully on board. And you could see either joint attacks by Ola and Fano in parts of Oromia or simultaneous attacks. Simultaneous attacks by Fano and Ola in Oromia, either joint or simultaneous in Oromia. if they're part of the alliance. You could see that in the coming days, I think. Thank you, Rafael, for buying the super chat sticker. Your contribution matters a lot. Thanks a lot. I was talking about a press release, a statement by Fano commanders, which they gave today about 18-day Abba Nadio operation, which they ended on the 10th of October. When they announced the end of the operation after the 10th of October, they said that soon they will share details, numbers uh, regarding how many soldiers have been killed, captured, how many weapons have been captured, etc. Today, they shared details. Blete Shigao and others, they released a video and they claim that Abanadio operation was launched on the 24th of September. It ended on the 10th of October. Almost 18-day long operation was conducted by Fano fighters. In this operation, 679 government soldiers were taken prisoner. Fano today uh, gave a number. I think around 20 have been handed over to the Red Cross who were critically injured. So out of 680, it means 660 are either in the hands of Fano or they have also been handed over to the Red Cross. By the way, dozens have been captured after the 10th of October too. These numbers are about Fano operation between the 24th of September and 10th of October. Just yesterday, I think over 50 were captured by Fano. These figures are about the duration from 24th of September till 10th of October. So 679 uh, government soldiers were taken prisoner by Fano in just 18 days. 3,000 were killed. It's a big claim, by the way. It's a big claim by Fano that it killed 3,000 ENDF soldiers in just 18 days, mainly in Volo. 24 vehicles were captured by Fano, according to the statement. Uh, they have shared details of the weapons, the ammunition, the armaments they captured during this operation, like mortars, Kalashnikovs, over 1,300 captured by Fano, hand grenades, around 500 captured by Fano, communication, radio communication sets, and other weapons and military items have been captured by Fano in this 18-day long operation. Well, if the number is true, if 3,000 ENDF soldiers have been killed, it means ENDF suffered serious losses. By the way, if around 700 have been captured alive, it means that thousands have been killed and injured. Whenever armed groups issue statements, they always exaggerate their gains. Sometimes their claims are too hard to be believed. I think that the figures, they cannot exaggerate the number of POWs. They'll have to show They'll have to hand over to Red Cross. The number of killed can be exaggerated by them. But we can safely say that thousands were injured and killed. We can say around 3,000 were either injured or killed during that operation by Fano in Wollo. And that is why Ethiopian government wrote a letter to the UN. I said in so many videos that this operation in Wollo by Fano really did some damage to India. That is why Ethiopia highlighted it by writing a letter to the UN Secretary General. Post Abiy, MYN is asking a question about post Abiy Ethiopia. Well, I am under oath from one of my sources. Otherwise, I could have spoken on it. I will talk to the source today, and if I get the green light, then I'll do a video on it or a live chat. Maybe he's listening and he might contact me after the live chat. Should the news about, should the developments about post Abiy Ethiopia be made public? I'll have a discussion with the people after the live chat, and if we agree to break the news, then hopefully we'll do it tomorrow. Ahmed Jama joined. Welcome, Ahmed. How are you? Ahmed is also a member. Special welcome, Ahmed. Interesting question by General Truth. Do you think Ola can make an alliance with Fano, even though Fano is spreading propaganda against Oromo people instead of against Abiy? Let me welcome Amano. Well, that's why I raised questions about some talks by Fano sources. They should not generalize, they should not level general accusations against an ethnic group. Ola will be in a difficult position, but problem is that Abiy wants to destroy Ola. Abiy tried his best to destroy Ola. Ola managed to survive. Sani Nagasa's surrender, Sharabbe's surrender was a blow to Ola. And the formation of that new Oromo organization led by Hailu Gonfa is meant to create more splits in Ola. Ola is fighting for survival. That is why alliance with Fano is more acceptable to Ola. Because the other side, Abiy government wants to destroy Ola. But yes, Fano will have to tone down its rhetoric against Oromos. If it does not, it could lead to disillusionment of Ola with the allies, four-party allies. So Fano will have to be careful. Fano groups will have to be careful. I said, if you remember, in a video that today Ola is not very relevant. But once the conflict reaches Amhara Oromia border, or if it when it enters Oromia, Ola will be a key player. And then we'll see what Ola will do. So Fano groups will have to be careful. If they continue anti-Oromo propaganda that will make it difficult for OLA to align with Fano TPLF era allies. Shumit says Fano has never talked negative on Oromo people. Shumit, let's not blindly defend any group. Let's talk facts. Do watch the funeral ceremony of Fanit Balim, and there a Fano fighter said, addressing the people there, Amhara, saying, Amhara, see what Oromos have done to the Fanit Balim. This type of generalization should be avoided because Oromos live in Amhara too. It amounts to creating mistrust between Oromos and Amharas living in Amhara region too. So there are elements in Fano, maybe they'll be reined in. DSG's comment irrelevant says, I think Fano should not be euphoric. Long way to go. This war will take several turns and twists and might go on for years. Also, bin Zayed will not let his best asset in the Horn of Africa be removed. I agree, DSG. I totally agree. That's what I've been saying for the last 2 years. Did you watch me 2023 when I made videos on Fano? And I said, government back then said that Fano will be just destroyed in days. And Fano said they will reach Addis in weeks. And back then I said that Amhara region will remain destabilized for years. No one will emerge as a victor. You saw, 2 years have passed. Shumit says that the statement was by one Fano fighter at the funeral ceremony, which, well, it should have been opposed by other Fanos there. When other people don't oppose, then it becomes evident that they support the narrative. Others should have given a shut up call to that Fano commander, or they should have clarified after the uh, funeral ceremony. Halim says, is it safe to say UAE was revenge for not being able to use us? Well, if you ask me, I want to do a video on that. Okay, uh, since you asked a question, Alim, let me explain to you. I think UAE right now is focused on diverting Ethiopian imports and exports from Djibouti's ports to Berbera. UAE owns Berbera, 51% share or 49% share. DP World owns there. That is why Abdurrahman Aero was sent to Addis Ababa. He was sent by UAE. UAE wants Somaliland and Ethiopia to sign an agreement. UAE wants Ethiopia to start using Berbera port UAE wants around 30 to 40% of Ethiopian imports and exports to be handled by Berbera. Why would UAE support takeover of Assab by Ethiopia? It will only support Ethiopian case for Assab if Ethiopia gives a commitment to the UAE that Ethiopia will allow UAE to develop Assab. Why shouldn't UAE benefit from the investment which it has done on Berbera? Berbera was developed with Ethiopia in the mind that Ethiopia will use it. So UAE is busy with convincing Ethiopia to start using Berbera for a major chunk of Ethiopian imports and exports. Gurasha says, can you do a video about post Isaias Eritrea? Should I do a video about post Abi Ethiopia post Isaias Eritrea? Or post TPLF Tigray, post Fano Amhara, post OLA Oromia, post PP Ethiopia? So many topics, by the way. It's 44 minutes have passed. I think let's end the live chat. It was good to be with you. Uh, Hopefully, I'll be back tomorrow. Now we are having regular live chats. I love your feedback, your comments. You criticize me. We exchange views. You ask questions. That's what I like. Very interactive live chats we have. Unlike other live chats which people have on other channels, none of them is interactive. Only my views on news is interactive. We talk to viewers, we let them speak, and we speak and express ourselves too. Thanks for watching. I'm leaving now, but I'll uh, disconnect the live chat after a few minutes. Sometimes people are having a discussion, so I don't end the live chat immediately. If you are holding discussion, exchanging views, go on. And after a few minutes, I will end the live chat. Thank you for watching. Stay blessed. See you tomorrow. Till then, bye bye.